Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to the show. Wednesday night. Tough times never last, but tough people do. I'm Michael Kuzilny, and we've got the lovely Alita Howback. She's joined us once again. Hello, Alita.
Michael's let me back on. Thank you for that.
Yes, say hello to our viewers. Right over there.
Hi. I was just going to say, tough times. I'm just feeling at the moment that this year, all around us with all the earthquakes and the floods, like people, it's going to be a tough year for businesses. I can see it in people's faces. Like for the first time in years, you know, generally when I go into a small business or whatever, the people actually be positive and try, you know, fake it until you make it. You know, you don't want to put a negative spin on it. But the first time in years, I've had people, business owners that have been 20 years, and a lot of them just going, "This is tough, like really tough." So, you know, I like to maintain a positive sort of spin on things, but like this year is going to be tough. And it's like the story you told me just recently that numerous luxury cars are just getting repossessed. They're not in the papers because no one wants to start panicking.
No, that's right.
But it's actually this year, I think. I feel for, you know, people out there and where that affects the rich, okay, you know, everyone's saying boo-hoo-hoo, you know, they probably couldn't afford it. But on the other side, you know, the real people and, you know, people on the streets, when things like that start happening, there's less to go around. So I think, I know it's all about being positive, but I'm just saying I'm feeling for people at the moment because...
No, good point, Alita, good point. And of course there's people, that's so true, losing their cars and losing their homes, but other people are suffering from more serious problems like health problems, death, divorce. There's a countless amount of tough issues in life, isn't there? And if you're going through a tough issue tonight, folks, God bless you, and I hope you get better very, very soon. Remember, when you go through the fire, that you're going to come out a much stronger person at the end, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And tonight we're speaking to a very young, courageous fellow. His name is Daniel Shortland. He's been on the show before. He's been on drugs. He's been to prison. He's gone down the depression path, and he's got a beautiful daughter. But slowly back on track, Daniel, huh?
Yeah, it's taken a while, but look, people said that, you know, separation or, you know, divorce and whatnot can poison people. For myself, I think that it's bettered myself. It's made me aware of what's more important in life.
How long were you in a relationship for, Daniel?
Well, my ex-partner I've known for 11 years now. We separated for a period of time she left Perth, came back to Melbourne, I came back to Melbourne, got locked up. Then when I got out, she'd just given birth to our daughter, and then she ran away to New Zealand on me. So I didn't see my daughter for the first 18 months.
So you've got one daughter?
Yep, one daughter.
Little Talia?
Yep, and she's been in my life since, you know, just before she was 2. And the second I saw her, it was just an awakening.
And he's a very good dad too, folks. He, before the interview, he said, "Oh, Michael, I'll be running a little bit late. I've got to bring my little princess home and spend some time." And I said, "Run as late as you want, bro. Run as late as you want. But you're a very good dad, and I like the way you pulled your stuff together, mate, because you could have ended up 7 foot under, especially with that appalling life in the past. You know, you were on the smack for a while."
Look, not just I was cooking and using speed and smack, and then when I went to Perth and came back, I started making home bake, and just hectic. Yeah, I didn't want to think.
How'd you get started? Like, you know, how old were you when you started?
Well, I started smoking weed when I was about 10, and then from...
So just the guys you
from 13 I was doing acid and speed and whatnot, and then I went to a school called Huntingdale Tech. I walked into that school the first 3 days there. I was offered every drug that I could name except for crack. I mean, crack it's not really around.
And
back in those days, you know,
and I better say that school's probably changed, but that was a long time ago. But
just the environment that you're in.
You know.
Yeah, I was offered everything, and you know, look, I stuck to my weed and my hallucinogens and whatnot.
Did you do any study at all?
Oh, look, I excelled. I went from year 9 to year 11, lived with a teacher, went off to uni. You know, I excelled.
Yeah.
Too much, and I think my biggest problem was that I wasn't stimulated mentally, so therefore not having that that stimulation, I turned to drugs.
Yeah,
Drugs is the killer of all boredom.
Did you find, Daniel, too, with having the pot so young, people, it's a drug of choice or whatever, but did you find having it so young that it can inhibit your communication, because it can be quite an antisocial...
I used to be very extroverted, and up until probably 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, I was more a self. I lost confidence in myself. My teeth were falling out. I was a known drug user.
Yeah, it's not very good for your confidence when you're known out there.
And that's right. I couldn't look people in the eye.
Daniel,
It's not...
what type of charges landed you behind bars?
Oh, look, this was theft, what was it? Deception, fraud, deception, obtaining goods by deception, fraud, robbery, aggravated assault.
All about getting the heroin, though. What really is it ultimately? The theft to feed the habit, and it's just like a cycle of
trying to feed a $700 a day habit.
So it's lucky you didn't seriously injure or kill anybody, isn't it? Really, because if you're spaced out and you're doing stuff like armed robberies.
Well, one thing I pride myself on is that I never physically hurt anyone, but because I am a fairly well-educated man. It's all about psychological, If you say something to someone and use the right terms and say it in the right voice, you're going to get what you want.
But now looking back, now you're saying you get what you want, but it's almost like glorifying it. But now looking back,
what do you say? I'm disgusted in myself. I wake up at night going, Jesus.
So, folks, we're not here to glorify anything. We're saying there's been a turnaround, and but I'm proud of him the way he's telling us this in a very down-to-earth and authentic manner. How did you change? Well, how long in prison?
Look, there was three stints in prison.
We might talk about that after the next break, but that'll be interesting. But we'll be back very shortly on Tough Times with Daniel and Alita Howe.